Okay, so the assignment we did yesterday had some things like this. You see this one? The problems that we did in today's assignment, you had variables on the same side of the equation. And so if they're on the same side, you just combine those, right? They're on the same side, you combine 6x, take away 4x is 2x equals 18. And then divide by 2 and you get x equals 9. Well, today's section, it says you're going to have, instead of variables on the same side, you're going to have variables on both sides of the equation. Variables that are on opposite sides. And remember, what do you have to do if it was 6 equals 4 plus 3x? What do you have to do to get rid of that positive 4? Subtract it. So guess what you're going to have to do to get rid of the 4x? Subtract it. If they are on opposite sides, you do the opposite operation. And remember, a lot of times I see people doing the same thing on one side. They add 4x and add 4x on the same side of the equation. Make sure you're always doing it one on each side of the equation. So here the 4x, take away 4x drops out. You just have 18. On this side, what's 6x take away 4x?
2x.
Divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals 9.
Oh, 9.
How about this one? Do you see I have a 3x on the left side, negative 2x on the right? What would you have to do to get it all together?
Take away the 15. Wait, no.
You always want to get all the letters all together first.
I made a bad part.
That's okay, so redo it. He rethought it, and what would you say?
You have to get rid of the 2y.
Right. I would add 2y because it's negative 2y. Add 2y and that'll drop out. 3y and 2y. So then divide by 5 and what you got?
Y equals 3.
Y equals 3. This one is supposed to be equal to 1. I erased it. No, it actually is not supposed to be equal to 1. It's supposed to be equal to x. Would you put a 1 under that x first? That's what I would do. And then I would cross multiply. It's just that now, what's 9 times x?
9x.
9x. And on this side, when I multiply 1 times that stuff, 1 times anything is just whatever you're... So 1 times 8 plus x is going to be... Again, I have x's on both sides. I need to get them all together. How would you get them all together? Yeah, minus 1x, minus 1x. And what do you get? 8x equals 8. Now the rest is easy. X equals 1. X equals 1. Right?
I'd hope so.
Anybody with questions so far? Anybody with questions so far? Everybody gets their undies in a bundle when they see the fractions right there. You still have to get all the x's together. So, see that one? I would minus 4/5 x. Minus 4/5 x. On this side, it cancels and you just have a 3. On the other side, you're subtracting this. It's a fraction. What do you have to have in order to subtract fractions? Right, good, yes, a common denominator, right? This is 1 whole right here. 1 whole, take away 4/5. 1 whole, isn't that 5/5?
Yeah.
So 5/5 x, take away 4/5 x, what is that? 1/5 x. Now you know how to solve that. What do you have to do to both sides? By, and divide by 1/5. X equals 3 divided by 1/5. Multiply by the reciprocal. Times, flip it over, 5/1. So what's x equal to?
15.
15. 15. Are we good so far? What about this one? Now, there's probably a little bit different order you could do things in and still get the right answer. What do you think? Oh, you're supposed to start with parentheses, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, but can you do anything inside these parentheses? A minus 2? No. No, no, no. So now what? Add all the A's? What do we, you're right, but as long as we're gonna do that, what do we usually do with the parentheses? Multiply it out, right? So let's multiply this out. 7a, what do I get here?
14.
And then I have minus 6 equals, do you see these on the same side? Combine them. What do you get? 3a plus 8. Now what? Can I do this quick? This is bothering me. It's on the same side. 7a, I have negative 14, negative 6.
Negative 8.
Right, good, yes, negative 20. And that, if I borrow $14 and I borrow $6 more, that's a way to think of it. Think of it as money. Negatives mean I'm borrowing and positives mean I'm paying back. I borrow 14 and then I borrow 6 more, I owe you 20, right?
Where's my 20?
I don't have it. I have about, I'm lucky, I think I have a 1 paper bill in my wallet. And it's like maybe a 1 or a 5.
Your rent's late. You gotta pay.
Not yet. It's payday today. Rent is due the 1st. Well, mortgage is due the 1st. Anyway, do you see I have a 7a and I have a 3a. Are they on the same side or opposite sides? They're on opposite sides of the equals, so you do the opposite function. So I probably will minus 3a. You could also minus 7a and still end up with the same answer. What's 7a take away 3a?
4a.
Minus 20 equals, that goes away and you get 8. Now what? Now you have all the a's together. You have to get rid of what's with it.
The 20.
How do you get rid of it? Add 20. And so now I have 4a equals. And what do I get?
A equals 7.
Okay, I'm not going to do anything here. You're going to tell me everything to do. What should I do first? Multiply it out?
parentheses.
All righty, what do you get?
3 minus 3r.
Plus 5r equals?
2r. 2.
Now what should I do?
Get rid of 3r
You know-
and 5r.
Yes, I was going to say, before I try to do too much, would, and generally speaking, well, one thing, you could do this in not exactly the same steps that I'm doing it in a little bit different order and still get the same answer. But generally speaking, the more you try to cram into one step, the more likely you are to make a mistake. So I like to just do a little bit at a time. What's 5r take away 3r?
Negative 2r.
Right, plus 2r.
Oh, wait, no.
Now, I have r's on both sides. I have r's on both sides. Let's subtract 2r. Goes away.
All seniors, please
No, I will not excuse the interruption. So there.
She's so rude. Always excusing the interruptions.
Tired of being interrupted. Over here, I get a 2. The r's drop out. Now, this one is a little bit different. This one is a little bit different. Look up here. Remember, what we want is an x value that we can plug in here and make this true. We want a y value that we can plug in here and make this true. We want an r value that we can plug in here and make this true. Well, here's the problem. Here is the problem. Is there any r value that I could choose that's ever going to make 3 equal 2? Is 3 equal to 2? Could 3 ever equal 2? Never. So there is no r value that I can plug in up there that's going to make 3 equal 2. This is false. You know what that means? That means there is no solution. If your variable drops out, do you see how our variable is gone? The r's drop out. If the variable drops out, you have to look at what's left. If it's something that's false, then there's no solution, because there's no way 3 is ever going to equal 2. Something else could happen. Are you watching? If you work it all out and you get something like 5 equals 5, is 5 equal to 5? That's true. It will always be true. So you know what that means? Any real number will work. So if your variable drops out, you have to look at what's left and see if it's true or false. If what's left is false, then there's no solution. If what's left is true, then it's all real numbers. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
I think it makes sense.
You think it makes sense? Good. So how about page 118? Page 118. I better give you the same. 1 through
2.
17, 25, 26, 27.
You're going to kill us with that much work.
No, I'm not. You have like a half an hour. You have like a half an hour. Forgot to ask if there's any questions. Are there any questions?